What if you don't live in the US? A country's central bank is often credited with determining their federal interest rate. So, does the Federal Reserve cutting their interest rate mean anything if you're not in the US? Well, Alice, that depends on how far down the rabbit hole you choose to go.
Any official U.S. government information online will tell you the Federal Reserve is the central bank of the United States. But there's more to the story. UNN has information from the Global Intelligence Agency which proves the extent of their power. Where did it all begin? In a secret meeting that took place on a little island off the coast of the U.S. state of Georgia, Jekyll Island, on the 10th of November, 1910. The secret meeting attendee list appears to be small, but our sources say hundreds of well-known bankers, real estate moguls, oil tycoons, and most of the world's elites from several nations attended. One of which was J.P. Morgan, a cousin of Rothschild. The cover story is the group met to discuss preventing another run on the banks like the one that occurred in 1907. However, the real story is quite different. That historical meeting was about creating a privately owned corporation known as the Federal Reserve, which would pool the resources of every nation in the world under one umbrella to be run by, you guessed it, the financial elite present at the meeting. After 9 days, the Federal Reserve was born, and the financial system of the world was now controlled under one umbrella by a few wealthy elite bankers, also known as the Illuminati. Here are some facts you should know about the Federal Reserve. Number 1, it is and always was a private corporation owned by the world's elite banking families. Number 2, it is not just the central bank of the U.S. It is the central bank of the entire world. Number 3, the Federal Reserve doesn't just issue and print U.S. dollars. In fact, they issue, control, and print every nation's currencies in the world. Their partners in printing are De La Rue Corporation, owned by the Rothschild family, and AbCorp, owned by the Order of the Black Sun. In fact, AbCorp still prints all birth certificates worldwide, along with other government bonds. Number 4, the Federal Reserve has 12 locations in the U.S., with its main location in Washington, D.C., not New York. All 12 locations represent 12 banking jurisdictions, not just in the USA, but in the world. Number 5, all money issued digitally, as in the numbers on your bank statement, never actually leaves the Federal Reserve. The numbers appear at different banks around the world in many currencies, but you are only issued credits, not real money. Number 6, the Federal Reserve is a regulator, not a lawmaker. However, whatever they say goes because they held all the purse strings. You'd think that much power would be enough, but it wasn't. 1 year after the creation of the Federal Reserve, the elite from the meeting realized if they were going to control the world, they needed more money, more power, and more support. So, on June 15, 1911, they signed an agreement with the real world government. This is the global tyranny that has ruled this world for centuries. Names you've never heard of, faces you never saw. The deal was sealed for 99 years. Shortly after, every government in the world signed their entire financial system over to the Federal Reserve, their currencies, their in-ground mineral rights, and even you as collateral. The elite bankers then, by agreement, had to sign those assets over to the tyranny. That was the deal. Those bankers have been owned by that tyranny for a very long time, generation after generation. All of those agreements are now expired, And the Federal Reserve no longer has the legal rights to manage the world's financial system. But that doesn't stop them from playing the part. They have no real power. They just act like it on TV. And this is the real reason why the world's financial system is on shaky ground. The world is changing, and the Federal Reserve and its elite owners refuse to change with it.
As you can see, the tentacles of the Federal Reserve extended far beyond the borders of the United States, and it controlled many aspects of our lives, not just our ability to purchase a home. Want to learn more about the Federal Reserve? This book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, tells the true story of the secret meeting that led to the creation of the Federal Reserve, a decentralized central banking system that ultimately became one of the biggest scams in world history.